such a wonderful sister. Don't you all agree? Yeah, I didn't make my brother a 18th birthday present. But, my excuse is, I was knitting him this like scarf thing, but it turned out really bad and it looks hideous, and I told him it's not allowed to wear it because it looks really bad. Yeah, so that happened. So then he didn't end up getting a birthday present. And I feel really bad, and besides, it's his 18th birthday. I should make him something. So I decided to make him a quilt, because quilts are always useful. Even one day if he's a hobo, he'll need a quilt. So I figured it was useful. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more of my fabulous face. And yeah, let's get on with the video. Hey! So I'm going to be walking you through the steps and stuff of what I did to make the quilt. So the first thing I did was I looked through all my fabrics and found ones that I liked the color of and would match the color theme that I was going for. So my brother's favorite colors are like blacks and greys and greens, so I did those colors, and then I thought I would add a bit of brown to make it more warm toned, slightly more warm. Warm blanket. That's funny. Once I found the fabrics that I wanted to use, I chopped out these little squares and then started organizing them and what pattern I wanted them to be arranged in. This changed a lot the whole time. I kept being fussy and I don't like that pattern, I'm gonna just slightly rearrange it, and yeah. And then once that was done and I had sort of decided on a pattern, then started the long process of sewing the squares together. My clothing changes many a times, and do you want to know why? I'll tell you. It's because I made this quilt over so many different days because it took so long. Yeah, it just took a really long time. Why did I ever decide to do a freaking quilt? Do you know how annoying patchwork is? It's like, I love patchwork. It looks so beautiful. When patchwork is done, and when it's done, clarify on the done. It's so beautiful. But I always forget how much freaking time it takes. It's such a pain and you never have enough fabric. And it's like it takes hours just to do like a little... Okay, so, funny story. Galen knows I was making a quilt. He would walk into the art room randomly while I was making it, and instead of being like, haha, get out, because then obviously he would know I'm doing something for his birthday, I just played along with him. He's like, oh, what you doing? Making a quilt. What for? Myself. And he wasn't surprised by that. He thought I was making it for myself. Which really is not that smart, because like honestly, if I was making a quilt for myself, I would have added some more light and colourful colours to the quilt. It was a bit dark for my personal taste, but he didn't notice, so that was a plus. Then I didn't have to have any secrets about what I was doing, and I could discuss my quilt and all the problems it was giving to me in front of Galen. And it was just great. No secrecy, just brilliant. Once the front panel and the patchworking was actually done, which took a long time, I got an old sheet. It's not actually an old sheet. It was my brother's spare sheet. But I mean, he's already got one sheet. He doesn't need another one with the perfect colour, the perfect size. So I used that. But mind you, when he first saw me chopping it up, he was like, Diva, what are you doing? That's my sheet. The thing is, this sheet was a fitted sheet. Therefore, I did my favourite thing in the entire world! And quick unpicked.
So once that was done, I laid it flat, put the quilting piece on top of it. And I realized that my quilting piece is a bit small. I didn't have the patience, material, or anything to make it bigger. So I decided to add a border with the leftover fabric from the sheet backing. So I added the border to make my life even better. I had to quick unpick the borders because the whole edging of the sheet is obviously hemmed. So I have to quick unpick that to make more space. It took so long. Not fun, really, not fun at all. And once that was done, I went over to my iron and ironed it flat. After which I got an inexpensive blanket to use as the inside of the quilt. Then I laid the blanket down flat and pinned the patchwork front piece to the top of the blanket and laid that flat. Then I top stitched over the front piece so that it laid nice and snug with the blanket. This was pretty easy, like around the edges. But when you started top stitching the pieces in the middle, you were swimming in fabric. You had like no space to do anything and you literally swimming in fabric. And once that was done, I laid the backing down and pinned that flat. And you know, it's really not a smart idea to pin something on the ground and then walk over it. Because I'll tell you, on the backing, there is a little blood stain from where I stabbed my toe with a pin. It hurt. I can tell you that much. It hurt. Anyway, once the backing was pinned down, I sewed along the edge. I did that and then I zigzagged around it for extra strength. This last little section of the video, I'm sure you can see, is, well, it was filmed at night because I did a last little sewing dash on Thursday night. Not a good idea. Don't do marathon sewing. You get so angry with your sewing machine and just so over it. And then I flipped it inside out. Flipping it inside out was so exciting because, like, for the first time, it actually looks like a quilt, not just a whole bunch of fabric stacked on top of each other and sewn. So that was nice. Anyway, once I flipped this blanket inside out, I was sewing the top stitching around the edges to make it look neat. Being so close to the end, I was determined not to stop that night and actually finish it that night. But I might have been like closest to the end, but I wasn't done. And I was really tired. And then I started doing childish pulling faces at my sewing machine because it was being a bum and being annoying because I had to sew but I didn't feel like sewing but I had to sew. There's actually nothing wrong with the sewing machine. Great sewing machine, it works great. Wasn't actually being annoying, I was just annoyed at the act of sewing itself. And when I finished the Dr. Tube, I was so happy. I was like, oh, it's like actually done. And then I hugged it and wanted to go to sleep. Yeah. So the next day I just laid it flat and trimmed off all the threads sticking through the patchwork and folded it nicely and corrected to give to my brother.
Happy 2 months late 18th birthday present.
Oh. Wow. Thank you. That's sweet.
I'm so glad you didn't know it was for me. I thought you would, because then I wouldn't make a quilt that colour for myself, like that colour scheme. I would have added colours.
I was actually curious about the colour scheme. I was like, well, I know you don't like it. Thank you.
Your brother's camera shy.
Very, 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 very nice. Oh.
Yes, I am filming. If you're watching this video, it really means a lot to me. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, subscribe maybe, I don't know, be nice. Bye.